Can you carry me?
I'm going to touch myself and cast light.
Cyrus, no!
I trust your whiskey taste. I trust your judgment.
So it can speak. We get its tongue now.
I'm not sure there's been an occasion where any of us have been particularly stealthy.
It probably wouldn't have worked, but we should have tried. Why are we so stupid?
I think the lesson from this is that I need to stop listening to you guys.
And it's at this moment we realize the DM is an idiot. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second installment of As Below, So Above. Now, where did we last leave our heroes? They were on the shores, and they just denied safe passage with the river matron and are now heading back into the cave to get to the original starting point and hopefully return these eyes to this individual? The DM asks questionably.
We'll find out.
Okay, so we have also off-screen assigned all of the items that you guys found in the treasure room of the Imps. And now that you're passing through a second time, you guys stumble on in there, and you see a mysterious-looking bag that you just kind of passed over and didn't think too much of the first time. But now that, you know, everything's been scattered about, this bag kind of just stands out to you as an odd, peculiar item, something you haven't seen before. It's got this smoky black essence to it, and it's just a small pouch, maybe the size of this bag or so. You guys have seen my dice bag before, so about that big. Cinches up at the top. It's made of kind of an off leather. It's this really light colored leather. It's a weird texture too. It's something you haven't seen before. Looks like it's been hand stitched together from many different pieces.
I point my club at it and I just go, bag.
That is a bag. Good eye
Bag
there,
is obviously
Samson.
cursed, right? Like, that's obviously a cursed bag.
Ooh,
What?
so
It's magical.
I once met some sailors, once met a ship, and one of the sailors on that ship had a pair of pants made from human skin. It was the leg skin of his friend who had bequeathed them to him when he died. It was meant to bring luck and good fortune. I don't remember what color that particular leather was, and Jens is going to think really hard and try to remember what the color those pants were.
Yen thinks really hard, and the memory just isn't pinching on that specific detail. You remember the pants, you remember the significance, but the color eludes you at this moment.
I mean, this is probably cursed and like probably some human flesh.
So what
Broke
you're
it with my
saying
quarterstaff.
is it's magical.
Yes, but also maybe we shouldn't touch it.
But it
Maybe.
could be really cool.
It absolutely could be. It could help us a lot. Like we are, you know, out of our depth a little bit, and this could really help us.
Are we not going to comment on
I'm-
the story about the human skin pants?
You know,
That is such a good idea. Like, I would have never thought of doing that, but like, when people die, their whole body goes to waste, and we could just, amazing.
is it?
It's just, it's just,
I
making the
I
most of
also
what you have.
Fair enough.
in doing some research, I was reading this old textbook. I think it too had been written on human skin. You wouldn't have known it except in the dedications at the beginning. The author wrote a thank you to his dear friend so and so for bequeathing him this skin to write the textbook.
Like every page was a piece of his skin.
I think so. There's an old
You know-
book. I couldn't confirm. Maybe he just meant the friend died and gave him a cow.
How many pages? How much skin?
Tightly written, probably a good 100 pages.
Okay,
Wow,
that's a lot of skin.
that's so
You know,
efficient.
like a good like vellum manuscript.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, so this bag.
So this bag.
I
I'm
mean,
just
Hati,
saying,
did you want to grab it?
I'm gonna take a closer look.
I will
This-
pray for you. I'm sure that this bag will not cause you any harm.
I'm
I
gonna give
will
swap
save my
advantage on
prayers.
investigating the bag, due to the
Mhm.
praying. And you can't make heads or tails of this thing. You want it to be magic, but you really just aren't getting any information out of it. The bag is empty when you open it up. You put your hand in and it feels eerily cold inside. And you just kind of get bad vibes from the bag, but you can't really determine anything else about it other than it's a bag made of some weird leather.
Okay, I'm put off by the bad guys. I'm like, whatever. It's not great. It's also
Hati was
not
able to
magical.
put his hand inside the bag.
Yeah, you just opened up, put his hand in, took his hand out.
Okay. Okay. So the bag is
It's not
currently open.
magical.
The bag is currently open.
With I take my quarterstaff and I just thread it one end of it through the open part of the bag and push it into the bag.
Yeah. You notice no ill effects.
Hmm.
What
Do I
happens
notice
if
any?
we close the bag when something's in there?
Do you want to put something fully immersed into the bag and then close it, or just partially immersed and then close it around that object?
I think we can try everything.
Which would
We
you
could
like to
try
do
with
first?
the quarterstaff. Since the
Okay.
quarterstaff is always already in there, we could try closing it.
Yeah, you close it off, wait a few seconds, open it back up, and again, nothing out of the ordinary has happened other than you cinched a bag around a quarterstaff and opened it back up. Quarterstaff appears to be fine. Bag appears to be fine.
All right,
I'm
well, let's
gonna-
try something entirely within it.
I'll pull out one of my bags of ball bearings, and I'll just scoop a handful of them and sort of just dump them in.
Yep.
And then close off the bag.
Yep.
Wait,
You
and then open it
do
up
this,
again.
close it off, open it up. Ball bearings are still there. Bag still is being a bag. You reach
Okay.
your hand in to grab the ball bearings, and you also feel this eerie coldness that Hati experienced.
Mm. Okay.
It's like
Well,
it's a
I'll
good
put
5-10 degrees colder in the bag than it is in the rest of the room. It's noticeably colder.
So how cold is noticeably cold? Like what's the ambient temperature and now what's the temperature of the bag? Do we have like a refrigerator, a portable refrigerator here?
So,
I was just wondering.
What Cyrus thinks about the temperature in here is that it's very warm. It's very humid, it's very hot, it's uncomfortable. You guys haven't really been phased by it, but it is kind of an exhausting heat. Inside the bag, it feels more like regular climate temperature, so kind of the temperatures you were remembering from the material plane. So
Okay.
it's a pretty noticeable difference. Like I said, 5-10 degrees. But yeah, that's all you know about
I'm
the ambient
pretty
temperatures.
sure I'm pretty sure someone could wear this as a hat and it would keep them cool.
That's such a good
Now
idea.
that's interesting.
I stretch the bag open and I put it over my head and then put my head all the way inside of it.
You cannot see what Vito, I'm assuming you're not wearing the helm right now, right?
No.
Okay. So you
Yeah,
put
we
it
haven't
on.
really talked about the helm. I don't know. Is that something that I found in the dungeon room, or is that something that I already had?
It was in the treasure room. So all the items you guys
Okay.
got was in the treasure room. So that was one of the items you found there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Do you have
not
more
wearing
questions
it.
about it though? Okay.
No.
Okay. So you're not wearing it. You put the bag on. You notice really nothing other than your head gets immediately cooled off, which is kind of nice and refreshing. And it smells awful, this bag. You didn't really notice it just having the bag out and about, but with your head fully inside and there's not really much fresh air coming in, you're noticing it has this kind of old musty smell to it.
So
Yeah.
as I put it on my head, I go, ah. And then as I pull it over my head entirely, I go, ugh.
Not quite as pleasant as you imagined.
And then I pull it off and I go, yeah, there's nothing in there.
Ah,
It's just a bag. It's a cold, smelly bag.
A cold, smelly bag.
I mean, it might be of some use.
we could take it with us just cause.
Exactly.
I like the golden man's idea. We can use it to cool off. We'll just take turns.
Take turns wearing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, did we bring any of that acid water with us?
I don't know how you would store any acid water.
Well, we have here a possibly magical bag that we don't really care about, worth giving it a try.
You want to dip the bag in acid? See if we can
Yeah,
scoop up some acid?
yeah.
Do you guys want to go back
Unless
to the lake, or do you want to just keep...
Jens also wants to pick through this room a little bit more, and just like pick up random things and see if anything jogs his memory of like what are some things that acid will eat through and what are some things it will not, and can I find anything that might hold it, depending on the character of this acid.
Doesn't eat through bone.
I'm just now searching in D&D what acid eats through, because I have no idea off the top of my head.
I think Orpheus is onto something. Is there a bone basket in here?
Can we make a bone basket in
Can we
here?
make a bone basket?
Arts
I
and
mean,
crafts.
we have quite a few sets of skeletons between us.
We do.
Okay, do we
Wait.
just have to crack open a skull?
Here we go.
Jens, you think really hard about where acid would be safe, and you recall in your many travels seeing a what's the word? A ne'er-do-well character that you were trying to set on a righteous path, and he was caught with several vials of acid, and these were specially designed vials to capture the acid, usually made out of some kind of crystal or tempered glass.
Is there any crystal or tempered glass in the room?
Well, considering I have this big spreadsheet of all the things in the room, you do not see anything other than oil flasks, which you're not sure if they would do it because you've never seen it in practice. However, they're made of metal, so you think that the acid could eat through metal.
Okay.
You recall a separate experience where someone threw acid onto one of your companions and it ate through the plate mail that this paladin was wearing that you were adventuring with.
Oh, that does ring a bell. Yeah.
So you're thinking that there's probably not anything in this room that you could use as is to take the acid, but maybe you could.
There were
craft something.
skeletons in this room, correct? Many, many bones.
Was that in the starting room, or did I say that in this room? It's been a week, so
There were many skeletons in the
You
starting
tell
room.
us. You are God.
I am God.
In the starting crater, not room.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Leave it
We're
up to
gonna
chance.
carry it around in a skull.
70
I
or
know.
higher on a D100, and there's skeletons in the room. There's no skeletons in the room.
Okay.
Aw.
I
It appears
also
the imps
think-
keep their keeps their bone discards separate from their treasure, apparently.
Smart.
Surprisingly organized of them. But
Yes.
we do have metal flasks. We do have this magical bag. Let's try them both.
I mean,
Sure.
doesn't that mean how far away is the water? Because we have to keep going. We don't have to go back now.
It's just back out. Not
It wasn't too far. It was maybe a 10-minute walk.
Okay. We
1
can try
minute
that.
round trip. We can
No,
afford
there's
that.
there's a person suffering without any eyes. I've got to be mindful of that.
I don't think they're a person. I think they're. Well, I think they're here to mess with us. I think we're gonna give them their eyes and they're gonna go blah and stab us.
Nah.
That feels possible.
I don't
Right.
think we should make those sorts of assumptions about people.
It's not necessarily an assumption, but just, just in case. Like, that could happen.
You're sounding very prejudiced right now.
Let them try, I say. Let them try.
Hey, that's surprisingly optimistic of you, everybody.
Well, as I said, I was kind of just pretending to be weak, as I demonstrated in our last combat encounter. I am actually very strong. I'm still.
Very, very effectively. You threw Orpheus a very long way.
I mean,
It was a shock to us all that you were actually strong.
it was trivial to do so.
That's so
was-
rude.
I'm just
Is
saying.
it though?
Not
It
everyone
cost me
can be
like
ripped.
absolutely no effort. So
That
I hope it
feels
was at least-
needlessly unkind.
surely it was at least slightly emotionally taxing. Like I understand the necessity in combat, but
Of course. I mean, I had to come
Or
to
when you're
Hati's aid,
complaining.
my
Yeah.
my confidant and friend.
Exactly.
That is so hurtful. That is so hurtful. I cannot. You know what?
I mean, we
It's
did.
fine. It's fine. I'm fine.
Well,
He was
sorry you
technically
feel that
helping
way,
you as
Orpheus.
well.
Yeah, I was just trying to defend everyone, show you all how strong I am. It was pretty
You
cool.
are very strong.
you are very strong.
Thank you. You guys don't have to say that. Thank you.
No, but like really, like look at those traps, look at those lats, like, dude.
I do a little bit of like posing, like, oh, these, like.
As you guys are all oogling Samson, you make your way outside of this cave system and come upon the water, where you can now try and fill it up using the 2 vessels you have.
Jens, would you like to do the honor? You came up with this wonderful idea.
I should probably do it with my bone finger. This is just a thought. Like,
I'm gonna try it with the quarterstaff. Just stay away from the water. So kind of by hooking like the 2
You can do like this,
drawstrings.
put it through the
yes.
put it through that,
Yeah,
and
or
then
like
go
on
like that.
on
Yeah.
one and do like a
Yep.
a swoop through the water.
Yep. Roll me a dexterity based sleight of hand, which is the same as a dexterity check at this point.
Dexterity based roll.
Can I help? Like help like hold the stick and like give some
Yeah,
stability?
Get advantage. Yeah, you provide
Nice,
some sort of
nice.
assistance, and yeah, you're able to help him stabilize it.
With advantage, that's going to be a 13.
13. Okay.
Let me make sure I don't have a penalty. I do have a penalty that's going to be a 12.
Oh, you have -1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you managed to. Are you starting with? You're starting with the mysterious black bag, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you slip in the black bag, and it dissolves in the acid.
Oh,
Oh.
oh well.
Well, I guess it wasn't that special.
I hope
There
not.
goes that bag.
There goes that
There goes the
bag.
bag.
Did anything fall out of the bag?
Hang on a second. Let me decide if I'm gonna retcon this really quick, because I'm just like thinking about this bag and if it would dissolve in the acid. Hang on a second.
We weren't supposed to do this.
We
No, like-
grabbed this
To the
mysterious
gods.
bag and immediately threw it into a puddle of acid.
If the DM is surprised by my antics, I'm doing something right.
I'm actually not surprised, but I didn't think about what this bag was resistant to and what it was not resistant to, because I'm an idiot.
Oh.
No, DM rule. It does not dissolve in the acids for some reason. And you pick it up and it's holding the liquid, because that would be the result you'd expect.
Nice. We
Is
now
it
have
covering
a
the
pouch of
outside of the
acid.
bag?
Sorry?
Is it covering the outside of the bag? The acid?
No, it's just kind of like anything you dip in water. It just, the water starts to slip off, so the outside's a little bit wet to the touch, but it's not got so much acid on it that, I mean, maybe it would burn your hand a little bit, but it probably wouldn't do the same degree of damage it did to your fingertip last session.
Okay. Perfect. Then
Nice.
with it still
I
on the end
take-
of the
I take the
quarterstaff, I'm
bag.
gonna like
I pick it up and I go, I clearly am, because I'm the strongest. I will hold it. No worries, guys. No worries. I give everyone a thumbs up.
Cool.
Wow.
You're so
Oh,
strong. It continues to amaze.
Beautiful.
while that's happening, I'm gonna try and dip one of my crossbow bolts in the water to see if I can tip the arrow with acid, or if it just dissolves.
No, hang on. DM's going back. DM read some more things and has decided the original ruling makes sense. The bag dissolves.
The gods are
No.
confused.
But I will say, because
The bag dissolves in my hands.
you guys all see a variable instance of this happen. So first, some of you see the bag come out with the acid, some of you see it completely dissolve, but by the time Jens brings it to shore, you realize that the only thing left is the bit of string that didn't actually enter the water on the quarterstaff.
Mm.
Some sort of illusion tricked some of you, and the rest of you saw through it.
I take the string and I'm like, I've got this. I've got it.
Oh,
No worries.
Did
what
it
a
turn
man.
invisible?
Did the bag turn invisible? No, you touch it. Yeah. Sorry about that mess, guys.
All good.
I think I know what the result of this is going to be, but for the sake of scientific inquiry, Jens is going to do the same process with the metal flask.
How are you going to do the metal flask? Because there's not really anything to hang off of for this one.
Oh, well, first I'm going to pour some oil onto the acid to see if there's a reaction.
For the kids at home.
Yes.
Do not do any of these things.
Testing my chemistry knowledge. Ah, fuck.
Yeah,
You
never
pour...
mix oil with acid, kids.
Yeah, don't
Never
do that.
light the
Never
oil on
put
fire.
metal into acid. There's so many things here. Never
Never
Don't
add
do
water to
anything
acid
you
while
do
we're
at
at
home.
it.
You pour the oil into the water that you presume is just acid, and the oil is black, the water is black. You see kind of this boundary being formed where the oil is pouring in. It doesn't seem to be mixing, but other than that, you don't really notice anything.
Does the oil stay on the top as it would with normal water, or does it sink down a little bit?
You're not
Good.
sure if it's sinking just because it's black on black here, so you can't tell if any's drooping down. But
Then
by the
I'm
way,
gonna...
hang on a second. Hang on. By the way it's dispersing, you think some of it has sunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spark it with the tinder. Try to light the oil on fire and see what happens.
I was thinking the same thing.
Make sure Orpheus
Cy-
and Jens
Cyrus
just like
is gonna step back a
crouch
little
straight
bit.
over.
and
I know.
not breathe any sort of like acid fumes.
You light the oil on fire, and it starts a small fire. The oil burns off. This takes about 3 or 4 minutes, and then the fire is snuffed out by the remaining liquid.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So the liquid seems to inhibit flames. It
Or you
itself
ran out
does
of a
not.
fuel source.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really sure we can burn this entire sea of acid.
A large bomb.
But what
We
a
could
loophole
try.
that would be.
Why can't we solve all problems with
all right,
fire?
let's see.
Okay, in the meantime,
Well-
I am going to try and tip one of my crossbow bolts in the acid to see if I can get a poison arrow fire, or like an acid crossbow bolt. Just the metal part.
Before you do this, you do have enough insight to think that based on what you've seen happen to everything being put in the acid, you don't expect anything different to happen with your crossbow bolt. Would you like to proceed knowing this?
Yes, because I had an idea.
Okay, so you dip your crossbow bolt in there and you get it about a quarter of the way in. You pull it out and realize that everything that was submerged is now gone. It seems this acid eats through most things.
Okay.
All right,
Let's
experiments
put
all
the
done.
eyes. Let's put the eyes in there. Let's see what
Okay.
happens
No,
in the
ask
end.
to return the eyes. They may be crystal, and Jens was saying that crystal things may not dissolve in acid, but we have a duty with these eyes.
You guys,
Duty.
you guys can certainly try and put them in the water.
Duty is a strong word.
Obligation,
Interest?
responsibility.
Passing fancy.
We have a quest that we should probably fulfill.
That's exactly it.
General direction, lacking any others.
I don't think conducting an experiment should take priority over helping someone see again.
What if
Yes.
this makes the eyes even better at seeing?
What if it makes them better at seeing?
What if it
That's
ends
still-
up
No,
containing
no,
acid
I'm
and
actually-
burning this guy's eye sockets?
Cyrus, I am actually with you on this. Just my last experiment. Flask, and I'm just gonna try and like, this is much more round than I picture the flask being, but kind of like pinch one part of it and just try to dip in and get like half a flask worth.
All right, so almost in a very cartoonish, comical fashion, you dip part of the flask in. You're not touching the water with the other part, and as you pour and do that scoop, you are now missing the scoop worth of flask. You can now change that in your inventory from a flask to a scrap of metal,
The flask.
Nice.
which you could use to craft a flask.
Oh, that's true. Well, if it's all right with you, that was a flask in addition to the flasks I was like keeping. This is a burner flask.
I think there
Picked up
was
a spare flask
took
on
an
the way
extra
back.
yeah on the way back you can pick up
We're
another
also
flask.
going back there, yeah.
Yeah, you're going back. So there, I think there's still 3 flasks left in that room. So yeah, you can go grab another one.
All right.
Alright.
I'm done
Uh,
screwing around, but I'm keeping my eyes open for some crystal
All right.
and bone.
That was so funny.
Cool,
This is
cool.
like
Very
all
strong
before the
acid.
session. You guys are like, "What's this mysterious bag?" And then throw it into the
We didn't.
I-
It wasn't anything. It's fine.
It was
Yeah,
just an old smelly bag.
That's all we
old
saw.
smelly bag, and that's all she wrote. Who knows
Whatever
what
that
was
bag
supposed to
was, it definitely won't come back to haunt us later, so there's no need to worry about it anymore.
Patchy thought it was
Exactly.
fine. We all just believed him. It's all good.
Exactly. Exactly.
be. Just wait till we're done this campaign, and then I'll tell you guys about the bag later.
Oh god, I want to know so bad now.
It actually
Like
held all of our souls.
We just lit all of our souls.
Classic. Classic.
The souls you
All for
needed were with you
science.
all along.
The souls are the friends we made along the way.
The souls
you
are
guys going
one
back
with the
to the
lake of
treasure room?
acid.
Yeah, I think just go back through the treasure room, back up, back out the way we came.
Yep.
Yep.
So you guys make your way back to the treasure room, and
Sorry, and one thing I'm realizing now, as we're coming back, I'm gonna carry the ladder that was in the room towards the.
okay. Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that when I was out of the room. It is just a wooden ladder, so it is 10 feet long, and you would have to strap it in such a way that it doesn't make it so you can't walk.
Oh, I just want to take it to the entrance of the cave, which we're gonna be climbing up.
Smart thinking.
Ah,
Just slide,
nice.
climb up the ladder.
I grab the ladder from the bottom and I go, I like what you're thinking, Hattie. Perhaps this could be used as some sort of weapon. And I start kind of swinging it around like it's a weapon.
Am I still holding it? Is he swinging?
What I will say is you guys aren't in the room yet, so when you get close to the room, first I'm going to do a roll here. A couple of you hear the sound of some flapping wings inside the room now, just before you approach.
It's flap flap.
Oh no.
No,
Oh,
it's not. You don't know who that is.
All right, everyone, be very quiet. I think there's some imps up ahead. If we do this right, we can surprise them. Maybe even sneak past them without them hearing us.
Sneaking past might be a good option.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Alright.
I say yes, but like while making noise in my chainmail armor.
Right.
That's 3 of us.
You guys, now that you're paying acute attention to the sounds coming from the room, you all hear a voice say, "Where did the eyes go? Who let them out? Damn, there's thieves in these caves. Hunt them down and kill them."
That's us.
We're not thieves.
I think they're talking about us.
The eyes are important,
They do seem very important.
so they might be magical. Oh, let's definitely keep them.
Okay, just hear me out, you guys. Hear me out. What if they actually belong to the imps, and the imps are just little guys, and we're just stealing from them, and these guys are tricking us into stealing from these imps, and this is like a cultural artifact or something.
We should help the blind people.
Yeah.
Unless the blind people are bad guys.
It's
We'll deal
easier
with
to
that when we
defeat a
get
white
there.
person.
If
I
that
typically know imps to be bad, and I'm going off of that.
Psh, they're just little guys.
Hey, I used to think that imps are bad. See an imp, smite an imp. I was about that. And then the people I thought were holy ended up being kind of bad. And so I don't know if imps are actually bad.
It's all
this
about
is
perspective,
They're
Matthew.
different.
this is a great story. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about this while we're actively being hunted by imps.
Well, because we
I mean,
stole from them.
Orpheus makes a really good point. What if maybe we should talk to the imps and get their side of the story before we go in all smitey?
Maybe
I'm pretty sure the imps attacked us first.
the golden guy tried talking to them, and it didn't work.
No, he didn't want to talk.
Oh, we did try to talk.
We're in the treasure room still, Joe.
You're just before the treasure room because you guys heard this sound and decided to halt.
Are there any
Now
like
we're having an entire conversation.
windows or anything? Any windows less than
There's no windows. You're in a system of tunnels in a naturally forming cave structure. As you guys are having this conversation, one of you must have just maybe been a little bit too loud because the imps seem to have caught the attention of you while you were having this conversation in the corridor. Would you all please roll initiative?
Oh man.
Oh no, who could have guessed? Oh no.
Oh no.
Who would have thought wasting 20 minutes going to trying to capture some water would be trouble?
Who would have thought? Oof. Oof.
Nice.
And in my typical fashion, I will sort ties based on who entered it first.
Yeah.
The meta initiative. And I'm just waiting for... There it is. Okay. So that's going to be... just
How do
typing
we
out the
all
initiative
keep
here.
getting the same number?
You guys all have the
It's
same, or roughly the
very
same modifier, right?
Yeah. I mean, if there's 6 of us, what are the odds that we actually all roll different numbers?
Oh, I see, Riley, you posted
Math.
twice. I was like, why am I seeing
I
7
don't know,
instead of
like
6?
70%?
Okay. Riley, you beat me to it. Perfect. Okay. And then I will copy that. Boom. There's the imps. So that's gonna start us off with Vito.
Oh,
So you guys are in the corridor. The imps have noticed you, and the combat starts with one of them proclaiming "Thieves!" and they point at you as they spot you just around the corridor. So you guys are in a 5-foot wide corridor. You can pass through at half speed because of the difficult terrain, and then you can get into this treasure room and attack the imps if you'd like.
how far away are the imps from me?
They're close enough that you would be able to reach the closest one with your movement this turn.
How many imps did you say there
Can
were?
I
Or can we not
try
fully see yet?
battle courage on a throwing axe throw? And then if I'm successful, then I can make a second attack as like a melee attack.
I
makes sense.
believe for battle courage, it has to be a melee attack for both.
It just says on your first weapon attack of a combat encounter.
Oh, it does. Yes. Then you can.
So I can like throw axe and then run up to him and smack him.
Yeah, I'll allow it. Sounds awesome. So
Sweet.
let's do it.
Sweet. Okay, let's do that. And I want to add 1d4 to the attack roll.
Yeah. Yep.
So my attack roll is 13. Yeah, 13 with the throwing axe.
Nice. You hit the closest imp.
Sweet. And then I run up to him and I exclaim, "It's not stealing if you're taking it back and it was already stolen." And somebody asked you to take it for them and they were probably the good one in this. But you don't actually know. You're just going off of like your gut because it seems like that's the way things are. I yell
Very
all
succinct.
that while running.
Very succinct there, Samson. I love it.
It's so good.
He's a man of many words, many convoluted words.
And
Sounded very confident.
my new battle axe, I swing it at the imp.
Nice. Roll for damage.
I've got to roll for another attack, I think, right? Second attack.
Oh, do the damage first, and then we'll do the second attack.
Oh, right. The damage on the throwing axe.
Yes, sir.
1d6.
And that should be plus your strength mod.
4 damage.
With the strength mod?
Oh, wait. No, strength mod
There's-
is 0, right?
Oh, yeah, then never mind.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's 4.
3 damage. 3 damage. No.
Oh, 3 damage. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought it was 1. Never mind. Cool. And then I'll roll
Nice.
for the other attack.
Yeah, so you throw your hand axe, it cleaves into the side of this imp, putting him in his place, and then you run up to smack him again.
So many tabs. Yeah, and then I roll a 4 plus 1, I think. So 5.
Unfortunately, your second attack doesn't seem to land. The imp dodges out of the way as you swing at it for a second time.
Cool.
And that takes us to Orpheus.
So it's really warm in here, right?
It's pretty warm, yeah.
Okay, so I have some candles in my bag.
Yeah.
Would I be able to, like, how squishy are they? Like, how
The
squishy is the
candles?
wax?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's pretty firm. Like any standard like cylindrical candle, it's gonna be pretty hard. You could press your fingernail into it and make a good indent. You could like carve it out, but just pressing it with the soft parts of your fingers, it doesn't really compress at all.
Could I, like, break off 2 sort of vague pieces of it?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna hold them in my hand and be like, I'm gonna go throw these in the acid if you don't stop attacking us, and like flash them like they're the eyeballs, and then start heading out the door.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, roll a sleight of hand. To make it look like they're the eyeballs you want.
Yeah, I got a natural one. That's like, I feel like I've rolled already a lot of natural ones.
Unfortunately,
I like the idea.
it was a really cool idea. Unfortunately, you're not able to conceal the fact that you broke this off of a candle, and one of the imps say, "That's wax."
Yep.
I don't have a witty repast, so I'll just sort of give up on my plan.
Okay, it does take your whole action to break it up and try and conceal it, but would you like to use your bonus action to recall a spell?
Yes. That's just a d20, right?
Yeah, give me the charisma roll, and then I will tell you what spell you remember.
Ooh, that's a 19.
Ooh. So, sorry, I'm just trying to pull up my thing that does the spells for you guys. Oh shit. So I believe with a 19, Emily, you should be able to exclude 2 keywords, right?
I think that was it, yeah. I'm just trying to find the keywords. I lost them.
Or was it
I think it's like-
19 and 20? You get to choose one category.
Was it 19 and 20?
It might have just been 20. I thought it was. I can pull
Here,
it
let me
up.
just. Yeah, I was not prepared, and I didn't pull it up beforehand, so I'm just pulling it up
Sorry,
now.
I should have also.
No, it's on me because I have the thing that calculates it for you guys. Yeah, it's on 20 you can select, or on 19 you can select 2 out of the 3 keywords to be excluded, but on 20 you get to choose 1.
Okay, so there.
There was utility and healing are probably the
utility.
ones.
Yeah.
Then we'll do those. So that is boom and boom. Oh, you recall
Is it a
Thunderclap.
good
You
one?
recall Thunderwave.
Nice. Okay.
Pikachu.
so you can use that on your next turn then, Emily.
All right. That's my turn.
'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then, Emily. 'Cause you can use that on your next turn then Awesome.
Yes.
That takes us to Hati.
So, in terms of this corridor, how wide is it?
The cave passage you guys came through is just wide enough for a medium-sized creature to fit through comfortably. So 5 feet.
So right now, Samson's kind of engaged with the imp, right? Or are we into
So
the room?
you guys are just at the entrance to the room, so you're kind of all single file aligned in this cave right now. But to get into the grander entrance of this room, the only person in there right now is the imps and Samson. But Hati can also charge in and attack as well. You're close enough that you can do that.
Okay, I just kind of get a lay of the land. And are all the imps on the ground?
They're all in the air, hovering around 5 to 10 feet, but they're within reaching distance of all of you guys. Yeah.
Well, I will definitely go ahead and charge at the imp, and I'm just going to use my battle courage
Nice.
while I'm charging. So I'm going to go ahead and attack him with my shield and battle axe. I'm just going to slash at him.
Nice. Okay. Go
Extra
ahead and roll the
D-
hit.
Extra D4. Eee, that's a 7.
Yeah. That's with adding your strength and proficiency there, so +1.
Yep.
Yeah, that unfortunately doesn't hit. You come in swinging and missing at the first one, but you do get to make. Oh wait, no, you don't get to make the second
No.
attack.
So as a bonus action, I'm going to use my parry action as well. So I will
Nice.
go into a defensive position with my shield.
Solid, perfect. Okay. Nice. That takes us to Varo or Vero.
All right. Vero's just going to extend one hand out towards the nearest imp. His other hand will idly be thumbing the weird jewel encrusted amulet he found earlier in this room. And just he wants the imp just to stop and slow down what it's doing. So he's gonna cast Ray of Frost. He doesn't know that's what he's doing. He's just like, stop. You're being a jerk.
Nice.
Um,
Awesome.
Yeah, and that will be. Okay, I have already lost my. Okay. That is a 17 to hit.
That does it.
All right.
That is a big old hit right there.
That is a great hit for this guy. And that is 4 points of damage.
And are you targeting the one that Samson also hit, or are you targeting a different imp?
Whichever one's nearest to us. So I'm assuming it's that one, but
It is that one. So he'll take 4 damage of the, I believe it's cold damage. Yeah.
cold
He'll take-
damage, and his speed is reduced by 10 feet.
That's good. That's good. Perfect. Yeah, so you blast him with cold energy radiating from your hand, and this really hurts the imp, especially because they're used to this warm climate down here, and now you've just made him experience the frigid coldness that they have not been exposed to in quite some time. Would you like to do anything else with your turn? Try and recall a spell or something, or?
Yeah, I'd love to try to recall a spell.
Okay.
Let's see.
So
That's a 10 exactly.
Okay, so 10, give me one keyword you want to exclude.
Utility.
Utility? Yeah. You recall Ice Knife. Which,
Okay.
remember, you can pull up the Foggy Memory table and get a quick link to all those spells.
Yeah, got it here. Thanks.
Yep.
That's it for my turn.
Awesome. That takes us to the Imps. The one closest to Vito is going to make an attack. Once I pull up the imp sheet again. There it is. I just need to remember their health and AC when you guys are hitting them, but then I actually need to pull up the book when I want to remember how they attack. All right, this imp by you, Vito, he's going to come in and try and take a bite out of your shoulder. He sees those massively impressive traps and is just like, gotta get a bite of that.
We were all thinking it.
Some kind of imp bayou, like a swamp, or
Just a question, not that it matters or doesn't matter, but were you wielding your shield for this fight, or are you just wearing the chainmail?
no, I'm shieldless.
You're shieldless? Okay.
Yeah.
It still doesn't hit, so you're fine. I just wanted to ask before I said anything. Yeah, so he tries to take a bite out of your shield, but he misses and chinks his teeth on your armor and looks like a fool. Then he proceeds to go invisible
Oh damn, he's in the
Yes.
shadows.
in the shadows. And the other two imps are going to fly by, and one is going to go at Hati. And Hati, you said you had your shield up, right? I believe I remember that specifically on your turn. So he comes to try and take a bite out of you, and you bash him away with your shield quite easily. And the third imp is going to come at Emily because he didn't really like having the intelligence insulted. And Emily, your AC is less than these fighters.
It's 10. Yeah.
It is indeed 10.
Yeah.
Wait, is that right? You're wearing leather armor. Oh, I see. That's what it is. I was like, leather armor should give you better AC than that. It's like not when. Yeah. So
Not
this
when
one
you have a
hit.
negative mod. Yeah.
Not when you have a negative mod. What cruel DM would do this to you? Oh, right. So he's going to come at you and pierce into your shoulder. Mark down that you've taken piercing damage now, and then do a DC 11 Constitution saving throw for me.
That's -5. Okay. I got a natural one. How is this? Okay. It's
You
fine.
should get new dice.
I'm never using that die again. It's fine. Yeah.
Emily, you should just get you a big jar of retired dice. Every time they roll it out one, they go into a jar.
Oh god.
Yeah, so mark down that you also have taken poison damage too. So you have taken piercing, poison, and I think acid from the
Acid.
last game.
Yeah.
And yeah, you feel as though you should have a sensation of pain associated with these attacks, but nothing seems to phase you.
That's actually kind of nice.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I look
And that's all.
pleasantly surprised.
You're like, ah. That is the imp's turn, so that takes us to Cyrus.
All right. Cyrus, seeing his friends getting hurt, is going to take a slightly different approach to this battle. Seeing Orpheus with the plan of distracting the imps with the eyes, I'm pretty sure Cyrus actually has the eyes. Like he was the one who grabbed the eyes and put it in his bag.
Okay.
I want Cyrus to actually show the eyes and say, "I've got them here." And then Cyrus is going to take the dodge action and the parry bonus action.
Okay.
To just get all the imps to come at him.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Such a heroic move.
Yeah, that's really good idea. That's awesome. Okay.
I mean, I can't see one of them, so if I just get them all to come at me, then they're all there.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And I'm gonna step a little bit into the room, like just like 5 or 10 feet into the room.
Okay.
So that I'm not like right in the hallway still. So that I can have the opportunity to be not completely surrounded. Like I don't want to step that far into the room, like maybe like just on the threshold of the hallway and the room.
Okay, so you just step a little bit backwards so
Just
that it's
step
harder to get to
forward
you.
so like imps can't go through like past me, I guess, down the hallway.
Okay. Yeah.
So like I'm in the entryway.
You're the barricade.
Yes, I am a door.
Got you. You're the goalie.
That's me.
All right, Jens.
Oh, seeing Cyrus step forward, Jens really wishes he had some more useful spells available to try to protect him. But I got nothing. So
You got prestidigitation.
I
That's the most useful. That is the most useful spell in the entire game.
Clean me up.
You could do so
Ooh.
much more.
Warm me up. Cool me down.
Ooh. Yeah, who needs that bag? You got prestidigitation. Just cool everyone down using the cantrip.
Oh, and I don't know if
Do
I said this, but I'll have my shield out as well.
Yeah. Makes sense.
can Jens on the fly remember if there's a particular deity that imps would be afraid of?
Jens thinks really hard about this and is coming up short in the heat of battle right now.
Then I'm just gonna firebolt the nearest imp, which I suspect would be the one stinging Orpheus.
Yeah. So go ahead
alright.
and roll to hit with fireball.
Ooh, that is gonna be a 15.
That hits. You fire off a bolt of damage at them, but I won't get you to roll damage because the fireball hits the imp and it just kind of absorbs into the skin, making you think that, hey, these guys probably don't take fire damage.
Ah!
Dang it.
I've already used the action, but of sheer frustration, Jens is going to run forward and just try to wrestle with this imp.
Yeah,
Jens
we
is
just
not
have
very
you in an
strong.
action running pose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go in towards to grapple the imp. Yep. Yeah.
Well, jolly good.
Or sorry, which one did you try and hit? You wouldn't have hit the one that tried to bite Samson because that one went invisible. So I'm
Correct.
assuming
I was going after the one attacking Orpheus.
Gotcha. Okay.
So running
Yep.
back like that direction. And that's it.
That takes us to the top of the round, which is Mr. Samson. The imp that was attacking you has gone invisible, though there are two imps that are nearby that you could turn your attention to.
I drop my great axe, which I had swung at, which I had swung at the one imp, and I pull my great club out of the other side. So I do like a kind of like samurai, like whoosh, like sheath one while bringing out the other.
Yeah.
And then I just go, it's bonking time. And then I just swing wildly. I swing wildly in every direction around me with my giant club.
Yeah.
What a catchphrase.
So you're trying to hit the invisible one?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll with disadvantage.
Roll with disadvantage, all right.
Yeah.
2.
Samson is swinging madly around him, but does not feel the satisfying bonk that he is looking for.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm bonkless.
Bonkless indeed. Speaking of bonkless, that takes us to Orpheus, who has not been bonked.
Well,
You don't want to get hit, do you?
I'm gonna try to cast Thunderwave.
Nice.
So there's one right in front of me. How many could I catch in a 15-foot area right now?
So both of the imps that you can see are within a 15-foot radius of each other. So you can hit them. And then presumably if the other imp is around, you could potentially get them too, because this is an AoE and they have to make a save. So the invisibility doesn't really help here.
All right. I'm going to take out my horn that I found.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, I don't know if anyone's played Hades, but I'm going to play the sound that it makes when you die in Hades. That's like da 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 da. And then a wave of thunder is going to come out of the end of the horn and knock into the imps.
Nice. All right. All the imps have to make a Constitution saving throw.
the brass was so loud.
Can be heard from 300 feet away.
Oh my god.
And
Everyone knows we're here now.
that's right. That's right. And your save DC is 9.
It's 9, but they take half damage.
They do. Yes, this is a good level 1 spell because they take half damage. That's right. They all succeed. So they're going to take half of 2d8 thunder damage and be pushed. Or no, they're not pushed because they succeeded.
I rolled 9.
You rolled 9? Okay,
Yep.
so half of that is rounded down, so 4. So they all take 4 damage. Nice. You see in the distance, almost just outside of the range, one imp materializes out of nothingness and drops to the ground, and then their body
Yay!
vaporizes like it did last session, and this misty ghost-like form floats off into the ether and evaporates. The other
Nice.
2 look like they are pretty hurt from this, but they are not damaged. Everyone else in the room, you guys hear this thunderous boom, crack, in the loudest sound you've ever heard, and it's amplified by this whole cave structure, so it's even louder than you'd expect. On top of that, all of the objects in the room have now been dispersed by about 10 feet.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna yell, oops, afterwards.
We're all half deaf. Ears
I know,
still
I'm just like,
ringing.
I'm just like startled now. It's like,
What in
It's like-
tarnations?
It's like an archer when the bomb goes off and he's just like, mop, mop, mop.
I was like, I'm just like, I was like, that was really cool, but a little warning would be nice.
Emily, would you like to do anything else on your turn? You still have your bonus action and your movement.
So the imp in front of me is still in front of me, right? That's not the one that died. It was the invisible one.
Yeah. Yeah, the invisible one died.
Then I will just stand there.
Nice. Do you want to try and recall a spell for next turn?
I have 1 spell slot.
Right. So you have 0 spell slots now.
This is
That is
just like
correct.
being a warlock. All right, I'm good.
It's true.
I was gonna have such a hard time if someone was a warlock because level 1 warlocks also have 1 spell slot.
To be like, I'm just a level 1 warlock.
Exactly. Give them half a spell slot. All right, so that takes us to Hati. Hati, the imp in front of you is still standing.
Okay, well,
Am I standing? I mean floating.
that makes my job a lot easier. It's like, wow, you really thought you could bite me, and then I swing my battle axe at it.
Nice. Roll to hit, please.
That is going to be that's a 19. Actually 20. Not unnatural.
Not natural?
Not natural.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you land your great axe hit on this imp and roll for damage.
Yeah. Not a D20. If only. That is going to be 5 damage.
Nice. How do you want to do this?
I am definitely just going for a head chop off.
Yeah,
Wow.
you insult this imp after he tries and fails to bite you, and then you just straight up decapitate him in one fell swoop. The head topples to the ground before the body does, and just as they both hit, same vaporization happens and the mist kind of floats into the ether.
And then I'll just turn to Samson's like, good people don't typically vaporize when you kill them.
Exactly. That's what I mean. You know it. You know what it is.
A rule of thumb.
It's a pretty good rule of thumb.
Vero, you've just seen 2 of these imps die. 1 is left standing. What would you like to do?
Same as before. Pharaoh's gonna look at the imp and say, "Hold your horses there, cowboy." And
Nice. Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost at him. Ooh, that's a 5 to hit.
Unfortunately, this time, your aim is just a little bit off, and you miss. You miss the imp a little bit, and your coldness just kind of cools down the ambient temperature of the room, which makes it a little bit more pleasant for the people fighting. But other than that, no effect. Would you like to do anything else with your turn?
No, that's it.
That takes us to the imp. I was gonna say imps, but there's one. He says, "Thieves, you will die a painful death," and then hisses at you as he tries to attack Mr. Golden Pants, who's blocking the exit.
Heck yeah.
And he comes in, swoops down at you, and bites right into your shoulder. And he is going to deal some piercing damage. So mark down
That's
that you've taken piercing damage if
with
you
the
haven't already.
disadvantage and the D4 to my AC.
Oh, right, you had taken a dodge, sorry. Sorry, I'm reacting like that because the first roll was a nat 20, which is why I didn't ask your AC or anything like that. And the second
Fair.
roll was another nat 20.
You know what?
Oh,
Fair enough.
that's so
This-
rude.
You see my hands? I haven't touched anything. Well, I
Picture
can't
for
take a
proof.
picture. It's got all the notes on it. I have to move the
Oh,
dice, which now
no,
ruins
it's
the
fine.
authenticity of it.
I trust you.
This is for my own personal record.
Okay.
I trust you because I trust the karma of all of us. Ooh, look at Samson.
Nice.
Oh,
I trust the karma of all of us having fallen into the underworld. And we get nat ones because we're not attached to our souls and we're wandering aimlessly. And of course the enemies get nat 20s.
Of course.
the
It's a
universe
test.
knows. Exactly, Emily, it's a
Mhm.
test. So mark down that you've taken piercing damage, Conrad, if you
Yep.
haven't already. And then also give me a Constitution save with DC 11. Which is very difficult for you guys.
Constitution 11. Yeah, that's going to be a -3. I rolled a 2.
When I say DC 11, really what I could say is roll a die and get 16 or higher is what I could
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So
or
mark
just
down
roll a
that you've
D4.
mark down that you've also mark down that you've also taken poison damage.
Yeah.
And then
Cool.
the DM is gonna grab a book, and something else is gonna happen from the DM's book.
Uh-oh.
Why have I not marked this page is beyond me. Talk amongst yourselves, have some witty comment banter or something while I like frantically flip through the DMG.
I think if memory serves, the pages I had to mark in the Warhammer rulebook were stuff you could buy and conditions primarily related to drunkenness.
That sounds a lot
Interesting.
like our campaign.
Interesting style of play. I like it.
Clay, that seems pretty accurate to that campaign, wouldn't you say?
Maybe the
Nice.
crit tables as
Absolutely.
well. Although I think people were probably freezing more than they were drunk. Also a condition.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
So the hits you guys have taken so far, like I've said last session, I don't think I said it this, but they don't really bleed in the same sense. I think you guys noticed that last session. You did some experimenting around. So Conrad, this hit lands on your shoulder, and the imp, I guess, dragged its teeth down the side of your arm, and it's left this open gash. So rather than just a thin cut, this gash is maybe about 3 inches wide at the midpoint and gets to about 1/2 inch wide at the ends. So it's really cut in to your skin and gone down to the muscle. It's completely wide open. You think that based on what you know, this could be prone for infection and is definitely not good, needs to be treated probably really soon. But again, you don't feel any pain from this. It just it's really traumatic to look at. And then also there's no blood coming out of it.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the imp's turn. Now it's Conrad's turn.
Also remembering the properties, the fact that a nat 20 was hit against me, doesn't that mean my shield breaks as well?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay.
That's
So
sad.
who's near you? I think it's just Varro who's close to you and Jens. So you guys all need to roll a dexterity save, and it's what is it? It is I think it is a DC 10.
That is a natural 1.
15.
I got a 13.
All right, Conrad, that's great. So you guys dodge the shrapnel bits of shield, and because the damage type is the same as the weapon deals, and this is not a weapon, it's a shield, I'm gonna say it's piercing because shards of metal seem to be piercing or slashing, and I'm gonna say it's piercing for now, from the
Okay.
way it's fractured and hit you. So you've already taken piercing damage, so you don't need to make a second mark.
Okay.
But yes,
Cool.
mark down that you do not have a shield anymore.
Great.
So sad. It was
That
so
lasted so
soon.
long.
Oh.
We're gonna go through all of our weapons really quick.
It shouldn't be that likely.
I took
I
the
wrote
dodge
this up and I
action
was-
for a reason.
I rolled 2 nat 20s for a reason.
Yep. Well, in response, Cyrus is gonna look at his large open wound, look over at the imp, and just say, "That wasn't very nice." And with 2 hands, he's gonna swing at the imp with his long sword.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, roll to attack.
Yeah. And it's gonna be battle courage because this is my first weapon attack.
Nice.
Where's the D4? That's gonna be a 16 to hit. I can do math.
Nice. Yeah, you land a hit.
Nice. And two-handed is a D10 for damage.
Yep.
So that's going to be 2 whole slashing damage.
That's a low
Woo.
roll.
Yeah, got a 3. So it's 2 damage. But because I hit, I can use my bonus action to attack it again.
Yeah.
So I will do that. And that is going to be an 8 to hit. So I am done.
And that takes us to Jens.
I guess Jens is gonna spin on his toes to find an imp that's still standing and do a quick redirect of that wild anger towards the imp that's still standing. And I'm gonna go try and hit it with a quarterstaff.
Nice. Yeah, he's not too far away because he's just right next to Cyrus and you're right behind there. So you walk right up and you can whack it with a stick.
Gonna whack it with a stick. Cleric Supreme Wizard Hobbyist is gonna whack it with a stick. That is gonna be a 17 to hit. Not bad with a stick.
That is gonna hit.
That is maximum on the die, -2 is 6 damage.
Nice.
Hey. How do you want to do it?
Ooh, oh, excellent. I don't think there's any grace involved. It's just a wild over the head, big swing that cracks on the top of the head.
Nice. Yeah. You give this imp the concussion of its life. And the reason I know that is because it ends it. So the imp drops to the ground and disintegrates, puffs into that misty kind of smoke, and then just disperses into the air. You guys are now out of combat.
Well, that was satisfying. I see why you guys go in for that.
That was tough.
Quite fun. But now
That
can we
was
agree
quite
not to just
Well
waste
done,
time
wizard.
I
Yes.
mean,
Good job, everybody.
maybe I shouldn't mess around with this magic stuff at all anymore.
Well, I think it's time we got out of this here cave.
I
Nothing
very
good
much
is
agree
happening
with
in this
Maro.
place.
That's a good point. As we're walking through the treasure room, Cyrus is going to see if there's any extra shields that he can pick up.
I look over at Cyrus and I go, "Hey, golden boy." I throw him my shield. I say, "I don't need this. I was planning on getting rid of it anyways."
Oh, Samson, you are the perfect gentleman. Thank you very much.
I do like a humble bow.
Jens and Varro both notice that there is a shield. It seems to be pretty rusty, but it's scuffed by some dirt off in the corner, and you guys could grab that too, but this seems to be pretty well worn. It would do +1 instead of +2, basically, effectively.
Extra shields are always nice.
If you guys want
Yeah,
to take it. It has the
I'm-
same weight
Feel
as a
like-
shield
yeah.
too.
I'll still pick it up. Cyrus, do you want to carry this just so you have a backup?
Sure. I have a feeling I might need it. These
Seems that
weapons
way.
and
They
they
break
don't seem
pretty
very
easy.
durable.
No. And then the rusted one also has the brittle property that the other shields do.
Okay.
I think not putting this on your armor was the right call now that I see it in action. Can you imagine? Your chainmail just also breaks from this one bite of an imp.
Yeah.
Just a cascading chain reaction, and all of the links like.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm just like
Or just
naked.
AC drops by 1 every time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay,
Okay.
I will do my initial plan of picking up the ladder on the way out.
right. Yes.
And I'm
Good
assuming you
thinking there,
guys, other
Hachi.
than that, make a steady escape from this room.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab an extra dagger and quarterstaff if they're around.
I think there's only
uh,
one quarterstaff, if I saw correctly.
Yep. I'm assuming that's in addition to the one that you put in my inventory, Joe.
Yes, that was an additional one.
Perfect. Then we get quarterstaff and dagger. I'll take 2 daggers. So
Nice.
three total.
How
Nice,
many
nice.
great clubs could I hold?
Not many, just because they're 10 pounds each. So
They're heavy, yeah.
yeah, if you had nothing on you at all, you could have 15 great clubs. But
Okay.
I think reasonably, you can carry one using that small weapon strap, and then if you wanted, you could put another one in your
Weapon
large
harness.
weapon strap. Yeah, even though
Yeah,
it's a
so maybe
simple
I'll
weapon,
just-
you could definitely put in that too.
I'll just take a backup great club.
Okay.
So I got an extra one just in case.
Nice. Awesome sauce. Okay, I might actually offline go through and add encumbrance calculations just because it sounds like it's going to be something we need. So I'll take Riley's inspiration there and do that to your guys' character sheets or something along those lines, but we won't worry about that now.
Cool.
Speaking of not worrying about it, you guys make your way down the cave through those spike traps that you're aware of now, so you don't have to worry about rolling to see those because you knew where they were. It does not appear that there are imps in this stretch of the cave as you guys move through. You don't seem to disturb any. Possibly the ones that were here were the ones that ended up in the treasure room, if there were any at all. And you guys make it to the slide.
But we're gonna be like very sneaky as we go. Varro's gonna refrain from whistling. It's tough for him, but he'll bite his lips and not whistle. Feeling pretty good though still. Things are looking up.
I love him.
Most of you guys are pretty stealthy, except for the people wearing chainmail. You guys are clunking and clanking and making a little bit of noise as you walk through. But luckily, nothing seems to come and attack you guys. And you make it to the slide. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. Question. Does it go without saying that I can recover my hand axe from the imp that I threw it into? Yeah?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it kind of cleaved into him, and then when he dissolved into nothingness, it just left the axe there as the loot to grab. Yeah, good question
Good.
though.
Oh, well, hopefully this ladder will be able to help us get out of here. It was quite a nice slide on the way down, but
you guys
ladder's
toss
good.
the ladder down, and you think it covers about almost half of the distance up the slide, so it can definitely give you a good starting point, but you will have to walk up the rest of the slide. It's difficult terrain, basically, because I could make this a dex save where you cannot slip, but then that's effectively just making you guys take a long time to get up here, and I think making it difficult terrain accomplishes the same goal.
if we all just walk up together, we could just shove everyone just shove the person above them and just form a long like chain until someone's out at the top.
I was thinking that we could all sit on the ladder and Samson could push the ladder up.
Oh,
I think that would be the most reasonable option.
And then we could throw a rope down for Samson.
you
Yeah.
know, I feel like we shouldn't put all of this burden on this one, although he is very extraordinary man.
He's very
Surely,
jacked, though.
surely I'm strong enough to handle any burden. That's what I say.
Well, please,
That
we are
was-
your
So-
companions. Let us at least help
Samson, that
you.
was a
Absolutely.
fast pivot. I feel like less than 6 hours ago, you were talking about how you couldn't handle any burden.
I want to be clear. I'm weak of character and will and fortitude, but not of muscles.
While they're
I will-
talking, Varro is just gonna walk with his walking stick and just slowly but surely go up the slide beside where the ladder is laid down. Just
Just ignoring the
idly
ladder.
walking up while people are talking.
Yeah, you take very careful steps to make sure you don't slip, and slowly but surely you make your way up the slide. You emerge to see a very similar scene that you guys left upon entering the cave. Nothing much has changed.
In
Oh.
terms of gladiator battle taking place, was that?
In terms of gladiator battle taking place in the scene, like there's no
Mhm.
dramatic change. There's not like an ominous swirling black cloud in the sky or something like that.
Just for example.
Just for example.
Oh, Vero, good job up there. You want to throw a rope down or something?
Yeah. And
Alright.
then I guess is there anything I could tie a rope off to?
Yourself. You're a sturdy fella.
Yes, there's actually a rock around that you can tie the rope off to that's heavy enough and well situated so that it's not gonna slide or move around. So there is a good anchor spot for you to tie off to.
Okay.
How high up is it that we're trying to get?
It's not super high up. It's 20 foot and it's about a 45-degree hypotenuse, so someone else can figure out the height on that. I don't want to do it. So root 2 and 1 ratio there, so
I'll kind of extend
about
a
half.
hand out to Orpheus and say, Orpheus, so we've already proven that I can fling you a great distance.
It's only 16 feet. You can do it.
It would be my honor.
Okay, and I'll throw the rope down as this is going on.
nice.
Nice. Okay,
It's
so I
like
pick
a
up
slide, but you
Orpheus
relax.
and like just like launch.
Shot put style?
Yeah.
Roll an athletics check for me, please.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
17.
Hey.
It's
It's probably
athletics
plus 0.
modifier. Yep. 17.
Nice. Awesome. You are able to throw Orpheus almost to the very top here. Orpheus, please make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
This is a 6 DC. It's not hard.
I got a 6. No way. Yeah.
There we go.
Nice.
Luck is turning around.
Almost with cat-like dexterity, Orpheus, as being thrown, locks in on the position that he needs to land and gets a perfect landing on all fours without seriously injuring himself.
I will do a small bow afterwards.
Nice. And you make it to the
Barrow will
top.
do a
like
little
Barrow.
clap.
Is the stuffed imp still in position?
Oh, I assume that
I put on
Orpheus put on clothes when you guys were in the treasure room and got your traveler's clothes. But yeah,
Based on Orpheus's personality and responses to clothes, that is a bold assumption.
I mean, Emily, tell me if I'm wrong about this.
I had assumed that I was going to put on clothes, just as we discussed. It's something that everyone's parents tells them when they're very young, to not run naked through the abyss.
Yes,
Right.
as we all remember being taught as children. Yes.
Yes.
So where is the stuffed imp now?
I have him like tucked into the top of my shirt, so just his little head is sticking out.
Nice.
Excellent.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, so the
Alright.
rest of you, I'm assuming, use the ladder and just walk your way up with the rope as a kind of a guide, and the ladder to give you steady footing, at least for the first half. You guys make it up to the top of the cave, and like I said to Vero, you see the same situation as you did before. You have a pretty easy path to get back to that starting room that you were in at the beginning.
It doesn't look like there was any sort of disturbance from our commotion. The imps didn't alert whoever's out here that there were thieves.
It does not appear that there has been any heightened alert set about you guys.
Great.
Let's get back.
We got
Vero
a place to
recovers
be.
the rope.
Nice. Yep. Good call, Clay.
Right. We're
Sad.
probably only at the point where you expected us to be at the end of the first session.
Yes. You guys are almost at that point.
Yep.
The end of the first session was going to be returning the eyes to the guy. That was
Yep.
supposed to be the written end to that session. But then, I gave you guys a bunch of items, and then naturally you guys are curious and
There
you
was
want to
science to
explore
do.
those. Exactly. So I don't.
The
fault you
wizard
for
had
doing all the things.
experiments to do.
Exactly. So it is what it is.
You gotta appreciate it as a scientist yourself.
Gotta
Exactly, yeah.
understand the meta of this new realm.
Yeah, and as a good DM, I have to make sure there's consequences for your actions. So it's obviously going to prolong things a little bit.
Well. If it
You don't
isn't
have to
the
say-
consequences
You don't
of
just
my
say
actions.
consequences like it always has to be a bad thing. You can reward players for their creativity.
Yeah, maybe it was like a curse pouch or something, and the fact that we've destroyed it is good.
Doesn't the word consequence like literally mean that it's a bad result? Like, isn't that what the con in consequence means? Like, can you have good consequences?
Would
Or
it be
aren't
a
those not just-
pro-sequence?
Yeah, I was gonna say-
sequence.
Those would
I
be
don't-
favorable outcomes or something.
Yeah. I think you need to use a different word because consequence. Maybe I'm wrong because I don't know fucking
Well,
shit about anything.
Consequential doesn't have a negative connotation.
Oh, okay,
Good point.
consequential. I see. Huh.
Cause and
Yeah, I
effect.
guess-
Yeah, just a data point. I'm not saying one way or the other, but
I guess
Well-
it depends on the origin of the word, right? Like, because con can mean with, I think.
time doesn't
the
count the
internet.
etymology of the word.
Well, I think it's really
It's the
important to
root.
note that connotation doesn't have negative connotations.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'm
How many
putting the
linguist
negative con.
majors?
Yeah.
All right. Origin, late Middle English via Old French. So it's Norman, which is already a bad thing.
What do you have against the Normans?
We don't have time for that.
Oh, God.
That's a whole 3 hour. That's a whole 3 hour rant right there.
Yeah, look, the origin comes from consequent.
I'm reading that it typically has negative association, but no negative meaning in its etymology.
Ooh,
Also,
I'm going to go to the Canadian Corpus if I still have a login for it.
I strongly support this podcast pivoting into a 7-person etymology podcast.
So it's also important the secondary meaning of consequence is importance or relevance, as in a woman
Of
of
consequence.
consequence.
Yeah.
Importance or relevance. Okay.
Okay, let's.
So you
look
could
at
have
the-
good consequences to your actions.
There we go.
Well, need to see the etymology.
I'm glad we finally figured this out. The most important question of today was
Literally.
answered, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, not what the hell was up with that mysterious bag.
Nah.
It was a very mysterious and weak bag.
The bag
Yeah,
is
couldn't
of
even-
no
couldn't even stand up to
consequence.
acid.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
I
a good
mean-
one is inconsequential. The bag was inconsequential.
That's true. It was. The bag was inconsequential, which is why
we
I allow it
could-
to be dissolved.
You allowed it to be dissolved. We could have just left it there. There were so many
Exactly.
things that we didn't have to do with that bag.
I wonder if we
That's-
have
that's true.
2 origins for the prefix con, one as in contra or against, and another this French.
I'm
two
seeing
different con prefixes.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that con comes from two different roots, the Middle English con, which comes from the French, but then also Latin con. As in, so con is in, what would this one be? Like a negative, and then the Latin con comes from the Latin cum, which is with.
Yeah. And
So
sequentia means following.
consequence, yeah. Consequence is with the following sequence, with the following.
So it's that which follows, pretty much.
Well, so that is one. It looks like
Well,
there's
if we're
no
saying
accepted answer.
consequence, yeah. If consequence is a Latin rooted word.
So, but there's also the French consequence. So there's the Latin consequentia, and that's that root, and then the French consequence, which you'd assume comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Latin.
old French. Old French.
Yeah, well,
Important
French
thing, I think.
is Latin origin, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
wouldn't it be the same?
Yeah, Old French from Latin consequentia from consequent. So that would be
Okay.
the French word. I think we solved it.
I think we did too.
Great
As you guys
session,
are,
Good night. Good
as-
night.
Yeah, session over. Everyone get inspiration. We'll pick up next time.
you guys get your ASIs, you figured out what the consequences are.
Everyone has to put it towards intelligence, though.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
exactly. The wizard is reveling right now.
Yeah.
As you guys are walking back to the place you started from, discussing the consequences of your actions, you get there and you see the same three individuals as before. The one screaming in pain still, as his eyes are, or as his thumbs are jammed deep into his eye sockets, and the other two characters trying to soothe and condone this man.
Before we get to within like comfortable speaking range of these people, Jens is feeling pessimistic about the outcome, and he says to the party, "I'm feeling pessimistic about this outcome. Can we wait here for a minute while I go through this book?" And I pull out the tome and I flip through it, and I want to see if I can prepare something that would be useful in case there's more flame-proof things in a short amount of time, or do I think it's going to take too long?
Oh, to flip through your book?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
prep
your
something.
spell book. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, this is an aside. I added a spell book to your inventory, right? I think I did. If I didn't, that was an oversight and I should have.
You did not. You did give me a cool as hell arcane focus.
Yes, I did do that. There's just add it to your inventory, because I think I even said it last session that you had a spell book. But yeah.
While
sorry,
we're
go ahead, Clay.
stopped, Varro's gonna say to the party, "Well, I have a little something in mind. Oftentimes I've found something what was once lost and returned it to the wrong owner. So I developed a habit of asking details and such about an item before I returned it. I suggest we ask this fellow what color his eyes were before they'd been done taken by the imps."
That
really
is
good
Very
very
nice.
smart.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I specified before, but these are crystal they're crystal eyes with a blue iris. That's the bright blue. Okay. Cool. And
Well, Vera, would you like to do the honors of asking questions? And hopefully these people are worthy enough to receive these eyes. And I offer the imp statue with the crystal eyes to Vero.
Oh, well, I'd be mighty honored to. But we best keep that statue hidden until we find out what it was that our friend lost.
Oh, yes, of course. I'll stow it away then. All right.
Well, are we all ready? Looking to Jens.
Yeah, Jens is looking a little frustrated, but yeah, ready as I'll be, I guess.
All right. I'm sure it's all going to be okay. I'm sure that these people are the rightful owners. They seem very trustworthy to me.
All right. I guess
Okay.
we will approach the screaming man and his friends.
Yeah, you guys walk in and see the scene that I had just described. What do you do?
Howdy, friends. We gone wandering a little fair ways over yonder. And we discovered ourselves a little cave full of trinkets and treasures and some of these fine clothes you see ourselves now wearing. Now I'm not sure we found your eyes, but we did find some eyes. Could you tell me a little bit about what your eyes looked like before they got done taken by these imps?
Uh, you hear the man screaming out in pain, unable to form a cohesive sentence. Sorry, let me just get my description page open here. I just want to make sure I describe her the same way. The rock gnome turns around and says, "I believe his eyes were a bright blue."
All right, bright blue. Now, what about the composition of his eyes? Were they a typical humanoid eyes with
No,
a little
they were
black
of a
dot inside?
they were of a pure crystal, and it was very very coveted by our village.
Oh,
Cyrus is gonna
crystals are
look around, nodding to the rest of his party, like, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yep. That's good.
crystal's a real funny substance for a feller's eyes to be made out of. How did this fine man find himself with crystal eyes?
It is a long story, but he is the seer, and these eyes help him see what you and I cannot.
Ooh.
Well, makes sense to me.
That's really impressive. I wonder, we have these eyes actually, and Cyrus is going to pull out the imp statue with the eyes. I was wondering, well, maybe
As you
this,
pull the eyes out, everyone that isn't Cyrus sees the eyes almost change their gaze. They were just kind of generically there, but they gaze directly at the man. Continue,
well,
sorry.
I mean, maybe the seer would be so kind as to see something for us with his sight restored. And I offer the imp statue, eyes and all,
I'll do
to the
some
man who
jazz
is
hands.
speaking to so that he can reinsert the eyes, maybe.
All
It
the
is
hairs on my neck are standing up right now.
Right.
The person speaking is a woman, rock gnome, and she comes up and takes the imp statue from you and says, "Merci." And then she goes to her friend, presumably, and hands the statue to him, and he kind of, with a certain kind of blindness, goes and feels for the eyes in the statue, removes both of them, and then, in a thing that I don't feel like describing, just kind of unceremoniously shoves them into his eye sockets, and you guys see the eyes swirl around as the pupils pick a focus, and now he seems to be able to control the eyes, and his eyes brightly open, and he stares at you with this mystical kind of gaze, and the screaming turns into a quiet serenity, and he gazes at all of you and says, "Thank you. Thank you greatly. You have restored my sight. I cannot express how much gratitude I have for all of you." No, we're not going to roll for initiative. You have truly done a good deed in this pit of despair we find ourselves in. You must be great heroes.
Well, very kind of you to notice.
We actually don't have a team name yet, but Great Heroes is it's not bad.
I
Pretty
was
accurate.
thinking something with a bit more pizzazz, but
The
not
greatest
bad.
hero?
Everything we found has been very brittle so far. Brittle
Right,
party?
this
I thought we
Tara-
called
Kinda what I
ourselves
was-
the bridal party on account of everything we find being so bridal and such.
Brittle, Pharaoh, brittle.
Ah, I see it now.
Yeah,
The
that's what I
bridal
said,
party.
bridal.
There will be legends told of this party.
The
And he
bridal
repeats it.
Orpheus throwers.
Well, if
He-
it is a bridal party, I suppose we are all here for Orpheus.
He shakes each one of your hands very carefully and clasps it with his other, thanking you all individually. And he goes on to say, I cannot thank you enough. If you are willing to do this for me, perhaps you are willing to do this for more. Am I correct?
Of course, we are heroes after all, aren't we?
How many
Jeez,
people
this
lose
guy.
their eyes here?
Not their eyes. There are 3 sages of this realm that help it from dissolving into complete and utter chaos. I am the Seer of Truth. You have given me my powers back with restoring my eyes, and now I am able to see clearly through this wretched horror. But there are more that need their powers back, and they have been stolen, and chaos has ensued this land. If you can restore their powers of speech and hearing, they will also offer you rewards, but none reward is greater than, and he stares in a very, not provocative, but almost what's the word I'm looking for? It kind of seems like he's seeing beyond like your physical being and is seeing deep into where your soul would have been. Like seeing into your true essence, and he says, I see there is a void you are all trying to fill, an emptiness that you've been robbed of, as so many here have been in the past. If you truly wish to reunite with your souls, you will need to take on these quests of redemption and succeed in order to reunite and bond with your souls. If you fail or fall victim to acts of corruption and greed and other vile, disgusting behaviors, you will potentially lose the ability to unify with your soul once more.
Well,
That
we are
doesn't sound good.
heroes. I think that this is just the sort of quest that us heroes must partake in. Don't you all agree?
It is a quest for the bridal party after all.
Absolutely. When somebody asks and somebody's in need, you always have to say yes.
I do. That is my response to every noble quest we've been given so far. I do.
That's our
The
team
bridal
slogan.
party always says I do.
So good.
We should get some t-shirts made.
Nice.
Great. So glad that this is happening. Yeah, absolutely. We'll take on this great noble quest. I mean, I think we're all looking to restore that bit of ourselves that we seem to have lost. It is a
Wow,
strange feeling
you guys
not
have all
having our
lost your
soul.
souls too. That's wow. I never didn't think I would ever meet anyone down here who lost their soul like I had. It's pretty cool. So we all just
It's
kind
nice
of
that
met
we
each
all
other,
found each other.
right? It's like destiny.
The half elf female that's kind of the tough individual in the group just kind of crosses her arms and says, literally 80% of people down here lost their souls. You're not special.
Well,
I look
mean,
forward to proving you
like, what are
wrong.
the chances? What are the chances?
Like 4 in 5 are the chances.
The bridal party is special, though.
Hey, don't.
We're special for many reasons.
I try to take the elf lady aside. Don't be so hard on him. He's had a really rough go. Just be a
She
little
says,
more
doesn't
supportive,
look
okay?
like Doesn't look
I
like
just
he's had
think
a
I
rough to
just
go
think
with someone in the party.
there's no
And
way
she
of
gestures
knowing.
to
I
everyone
think.
who's taking damage.
Yeah, speaking of which, and
Emotionally, okay?
Oh,
Si-
well,
Emotional damage.
Cyrus with his giant gash,
Yeah.
should probably get looked at.
The rock gnome that was addressing you before. If you venture with these injuries, you will surely perish. You should stop and take a little bit of time to make sure you heal each other. If you have anything to patch these wounds or help mend them in some way, these will go a long distance in aiding yourselves. Have you come across anything in your travels into the Imps lair that will give you
Oh,
such
we got a couple
assistance?
healers kits. That should probably do the trick.
Oh, we got a few little things in these here kits we could try out. See if we can do something about that.
I mean,
If
I
you
don't
will-
know. It doesn't hurt. So
If you will allow me, I can show you how you can use these kits to heal from certain wounds.
That
This
would be
voice
much
sounds like
appreciated.
Please
Mrs.
do.
Doubtfire, Joe.
It's been so long since I've seen that movie. This is just me trying to do a generic French voice.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.
Oui,
Tabernacle.
Croissant.
You don't sound angry enough.
Well,
Croissant.
It's France French. It's not Quebecois French.
Yeah. You'll meet
Sorry,
some
not snobby
Quebecers later
enough.
on. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice. Some French
Not
ladies.
snobby enough.
Deeper in
Have
the
some
abyss.
poutine.
Ooh, yeah.
At the
Uh,
lowest level of hell.
oh God. Well, we
That's where you
know
find the
who our
fish.
audience is no longer going to be for this podcast.
Exactly.
It's like, you know that country in Western Europe? Yeah, fuck all them.
Yikes.
Yeah. So she takes a moment and shows you how to use the healing kit to basically remove one of these one of the damage types that you have taken. And to
Wow.
do so takes a short rest worth of time.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you
And
guys
and that'll get rid of like one at a time.
one at a time, yeah. So I'll write this in the docs for the homebrew rules, so you guys know exactly how this works. But basically, just quickly now, you guys can always do the medicine checks in combat to try and remove one, but you have to do the roll, the same medicine check roll you would normally do, or you can take a short rest and auto succeed on removing one of them.
Okay. And that takes one of the uses out of the
Yeah.
Can multiple be used on one person in a short rest? Like
Yes,
two
but
people.
one person has to heal the other. So if, say, everyone in the party wanted one damage type removed, you need 2 long rests or 2 short rests, sorry.
Because you can't be healed and heal at the same time.
Yeah, basically you're patient, the other person's playing doctor, and then it swaps roles.
But 2
What
people
if we
can be
sit in a
healing.
circle?
Yeah. It's a chain, like a back massage circle.
For simplicity reasons, I'm gonna go with, if you're being healed, you cannot also be healing. Good
The
patients
question
don't
is
move
if
a
you have
lot.
2 people healing 1 person.
Heal 2 different damage
Like-
types.
If Cyrus had 5, different damage types, could all the rest of us all heal all 5 in one short rest for him?
Cyrus just lays there as everyone just surrounds him.
I don't like that visual. I don't like that visual at all.
Cyrus loves it.
Very in character for Cyrus.
When we're all
just so I don't
asleep,
have-
Cyrus just pictures that.
Just so I don't have to make a decision on the fly, I will reflect on this and come back to you guys with an answer. The answer right now is maybe.
Yeah.
Cool.
And this works for all damage types, including like poison and psychic.
There's something in there for everyone. There's even a little sheet of how to heal psychic damage, basically, so you can open up the past traumas.
Can we heal
therapy session.
Orpheus's
therapy
finger?
session. Yeah, you can heal all the types. So yeah, it would be like a bandage
it
goes around the
just-
finger.
But does the skin come back?
I guess we'll find out.
Find out. I think what I'm picturing right now is that
It's
it
a good
heals up.
aesthetic. But also,
Um,
if you were trying to play a string instrument, it would be terrible.
You can
free pick.
ask all of your questions about how the healing works to the NPC, or to the NPC, and I'll answer them in character. So like all these questions you have, you can just ask the NPCs.
So we don't seem to be feeling any pain.
Let's ask the Mrs. Doubtfire sounding one.
Is this damage, like, is this injuries that our bodies sustain, is it permanent?
You are dead, monsieur. You are no longer alive. Any damage you take is going to persist, and your body will not heal it naturally.
Oh.
It's fringing on like German.
Are we gonna
So
start to decay?
You will start to. You will only decay as much as the damage you have taken. If you take too many different types of damage, you will surely perish, or at least devolve from the undead corpse you currently are into something much evil and much worse. I would
Good to know.
dare not take more than 6 types of damage.
And that's when it starts to
Okay.
become irreversible?
Taking 6 types of damage is very bad. You will surely change form of some kind, if not something worse.
Oh, that's good to know. Thank you for that
Is that
good bit of advice.
Is that reversible?
Changing form?
Yes.
Not to my knowledge, but my knowledge is not omniscient. I do not know if there is a way. Perhaps in
Okay.
your travels you will find someone who can reverse such processes, but
Hmm.
as far as the equipment you have, you cannot reverse this. I would highly advise that you do not take more than 5 types. If you take the 6th one, it will be very devastating. And every type you take will impede you in a negative way.
So you say you're not omniscient.
No, I
Time
am
to
a
do
simple
some
man.
Mr. Seer of Truth.
Yes.
What do you see?
I see 1,000 imps in the sky. I see the impending doom coming to this plane, and I see the chaos all throughout the land. Without my companions, I fear this will continue to propagate and even get worse, and any great beings that have been sealed in this plane have the potential to escape without our guard.
Well, that answers my second question of why we care about this plane.
Well, this plane, you can imagine, is the dumping ground for all
Yeah.
the undesirable beings of the multiverse. Anything that has rained horror and chaos upon the planes has been banished at some point to here, as most of those wretched beings are from this plane. And they are kept here and not allowed to escape by our magic and our bond of warding. But alas, their I don't know, their followers, their malevolent, chaotic beings have decided to prey upon all of us and scatter our. I want to say scatter bits, but that just sounds. Scatter our magical essences throughout the land. Thank you again for retrieving this, but I fear the others will not be so simple as the imps are not very clever and did not really know how to hide my eyes, I suppose.
And there's a
Did
lot
you
worse
know-
here than Imps.
Sorry?
Mhm.
There's a lot worse here than Imps.
Oh, imps are the least of your concern in this realm. There are many demons and often fiends, as you can imagine, given that the imps are here too, that have bestowed chaos and anarchy upon this plane in many different ways. But if you make your way out of here and go to the market of Mirage, you surely will find people that can aid you in your quest, as there are good and noble beings here. For all people in the material plane that encounter death, encounter this plane. It is not until their soul is weighed when their fate is determined. If their soul is weighed to be a just and virtuous soul, they will ascend to the heavens. If it is a morally corrupt and evil soul, it will descend into the depths, where their soul will be endlessly tortured until the end of time. This process can
Um,
take anywhere from minutes to millennia, as
Millennia.
the deity responsible is a complete jerk and does not really care about the time of mortals.
That tracks.
Yeah.
I
You
should
said that
have
they're
words with
good.
that deity. Just, I'll tell him how a real god should act.
I'd advise lipping off the gods.
You'd advise it?
I'd advise it.
Okay, good to know.
Advice against it?
No,
I
advise
would
it.
I would advise against it.
Oh,
Ah,
that's slightly different. All right.
Mhm.
Seer of
Gods
Truth,
tend
what
to
is
have
your
something
name?
of a gob complex.
I would know.
That makes
Don't
sense.
worry.
My
What do you
my
mean
name
by that?
is my name is Amir, Seer of
Yeah.
Truth.
Amir, Seer of Truth. Jens kneels down and looks Amir. Ymir? Ymir.
Amir.
Amir. And looks Amir
Wait,
in the eyes.
yeah, it's Amir now. I think I spelt it Amar, but it's Amir.
Okay.
Sorry, keep
All
going.
right. Your here's the catch. I am not entirely convinced you're on the side of order, that you're not playing some higher game.
Here, I see many things, and one of the things I see is you've acquired a book. If you would trust me momentarily, I would love to bestow something into this book for you. He takes your book and looks at the party and says, "This will take some time. Are you okay staying here for a prolonged period?"
I suppose we can take a moment to rest. We do have some wounds that we need to recover from, and I
This will
think a
give you
break would do
ample
us good.
time.
I am quite
So
tired.
the party is going to take a long rest, which gives everyone their spell slots back, and you guys can expend the healing kits to regain or to remove all of those different types of damage you took, and just mark down. I guess if everyone has a healing kit, it's easy just to mark it down out of your own healing kit, but I'm not sure how you guys disperse those, so just figure that out. And
Sure.
then at the end of the long rest, Riley, add to your spell book that you have Zone of Truth, which I think is a first level spell, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. But if it's not,
Ooh, that is very cool.
I'm just gonna check that it is a first level spell and you can cast it. Either way, he adds it, but I think it's a first level spell.
I
It's
thought
a
it was
second
second
level spell.
level.
It is second level, yeah. He does add Zone of Truth to your book, though.
But I can't cast it yet.
But you can't cast it yet.
That's
But
so
it's in your book.
rude.
He didn't know. He can see everything. It doesn't mean he knows everything.
He sees
Uh,
how weak we are.
I'm gonna Amir, I'm gonna ask you something, and I'm curious how much you know and how much you can see. Of the things that made me doubt my God, who was the first and the most important?
He takes your hands, if you'll allow him to,
Yeah.
and he holds them just kind of like basically in front of these hands, so just kind of like that. And then he's going to do a roll. And he closes his eyes very gently shut, to the point where there's no squinching of the eyes. You can see the full eyelid. And he makes a furrowed brow. He thinks really hard and he says, "Your past is obscured to me at this time. Forgive me, but I cannot see it. What I can usually see is the reality as it should be, not the reality as it has decided to present itself. With effort, I can sometimes see into the past of individuals and objects, and with great effort and concentration, I may be able to see your future. But unfortunately, I cannot see your past at this moment. I do apologize dearly."
Well, thank you for the spell. We're all gonna die.
Oh, come now, Jens, please. Amir has perhaps painted a bit of a dark picture ahead of us, but as and Cyrus thinks for a moment, as heroes of Zoral, I'm sure that we can all band together and vanquish this evil and bring order back to this realm.
I thought we're
What's a
heroes of the
Zeral?
bridal party.
I thought we decided on the bridal party.
I mean, there's many names that we can go by.
The
I,
half
for
elf.
one, I think
Sorry.
it's better that my past is not remembered, or I know it's filled with disgrace and shame, even though, as established, I am very strong and muscular. Yes.
The half elf
I-
also says, on the bright side, you're already dead, so
Oh.
It's
Mm,
very true. It's very true.
you can only go up from here.
it's true.
I think it can be a lot worse.
I think it's time we begin,
Away
essentially.
from the NPCs and to the party, Jens will be a little bit more forthcoming and say something to the effect of, I'm fully willing to go along with this quest for lack of anything else. I am not entirely convinced that the Seers are as they say they are. I would not be stunned to find that in bringing them their artifacts, they turn out to be the great beings who will use the artifacts to burst out of hell.
Oh,
I will just beat them too.
come
That's
now,
fine.
Jens. You must try and have a little faith.
I think I have to agree with
That-
Jens on this one. These people, we don't know anything about them. We're really just
You
taking all of this
I
at face
mean,
you
value
too,
at the moment.
Orpheus? Oh,
but they've helped us. They've helped us so far.
Did
I
they?
have to agree with Mr. Zeral. These people have shown no reason for us to doubt them. They have been kind to us, and I think we should be kind in return until we have some reason to believe otherwise.
they've given us knowledge of this realm. They're more than willing to cooperate. They've supported, yet they gave you what, a spell or something? They took a look at your book. Like they seem to be helpful in
They give
all
us
of the
some
best
potions.
ways.
No? No.
Oh,
They
speaking of
gave you
knowledge,
zero things
uh,
except for a spell and a book.
They taught us how we can use the medicine kit so that we may survive in this world,
Right. That's what I was
mhm,
thinking of.
and that we
yeah.
understand, that we must treat our wounds despite not feeling pain.
Maybe we should ask them for more stuff. Would everybody feel better if they gave us more stuff?
You all look around and
But
see they literally have nothing on them except the tattered clothes and now the eyes you guys gave this guy back.
oh, wait. If they do have knowledge, hey, what about that weird river lady? Do you guys know about her?
The seer pipes up and says, "Ah, yes. The river matrons. What would you like to know about these dastardly beings?"
Yeah, they're
Ev-
dastardly. That's what I
Everything you
thought.
know.
Okay, so
They
don't
they
trust
are
them.
they are not to be trifled with. They seek one thing and one thing only, and that is to capture the souls of any poor wandering saps, such as yourselves, if they are foolish enough to take passage on their vessels. For they are but not kind matrons, rather they are hags of the night. And these hags feed on the nightmares of individuals and attempt to successfully trap their souls into their bags made of the flesh of humanoids.
I think we found one of their bags. You know?
What did you destroy it?
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
we did.
Oh, thank
And
God.
we knew to do that because it gave a bad vibe.
Exactly.
So destroying it is okay. Holding on to it is okay. Making sure it can never be found again is best. For once the bag is destroyed, the owner of the bag can actually create a new one, but they need a host. And by a host, I mean a sacrifice. And by a sacrifice, I mean. And then he kind of like takes his skin, and he's a little bit older, so he gets a little bit more of a sag, and he pulls quite a bit of it up and just kind of like gestures to they need skin for the bag.
Right, of course.
I'm just gonna go out there and say that I think I would make a very nice bag. And I'm not volunteering. I just think that if someone made a bag out of my skin, it would look really nice. And
They all look at you with this look of like just shocked sadness and horror of like,
again, I'm not volunteering. I'm not gonna seek this out. I just wanted us to all agree that I would make a very nice bag.
I mean,
Purple
yeah, I
is a nice
guess
color.
you've got nice
Also,
skin,
like
sure. It would
like
go
Thank
for
you.
a
lovely,
beautiful purple bag.
a lovely
really
pair of
appreciate that.
pants, or like a great special edition of a book.
I
Just
think
for
it would be a
for
great
throwing out
special
ideas.
edition. Yeah.
I just think they're looking for more of a cold, smelly bag, and you would probably make more of a warm, nicely scented bag, probably. I imagine, Orpheus.
That is so kind, Samson.
What a
That is the nicest thing
strangely
you've
nice
ever
thing to
said.
say.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I suppose the one benefit is you said that they were looking for souls to capture. I mean, we don't have any souls right now, so they wouldn't be able to get anything out of us.
yes, well, your soul is not physically with you. It is in this realm, and it is tethered to you, as it is your soul. Your soul has a specific bond with the being that once possessed it. The more corrupt this being becomes in this world, which is often the case, sadly, the weaker this bond becomes until it is eventually severed, at which point the soul can never re enter that body again. This is the kind of soul that the hags feed upon, prey upon, and desire. Your souls would have some resilience, but the hags would beat it down, wither that away by getting you to do corrupt acts. These acts may seem innocent at first, but they become much more malicious as time goes on, and the engagement in these acts is the corruption of the soul.
I see. So we are currently connected to our souls, though. Is there a way that we can use this connection to find our souls and reunite with them?
As the bond gets weaker with immoral and corrupt acts, the bond gets stronger with virtuous, righteous, and true acts. The more things you do for the greater good of people around you, to help those in need, to aid the victimized and help them in any way you can, this will strengthen your bond and surely with time point you in the direction that you need to go to find the physical manifestation of your soul. If you have followed this path of righteousness and virtue, it should ascend to the upper level of this realm. If you have followed the prior path of corruption and immoral acts, it will fall to the lowest levels of this realm.
You become
I
French.
appreciate that advice.
You become Sacre bleu!
Well, I mean, I was always planning on being righteous, but it's always nice to have more motivation.
Amir, did we all end up here because this was where we were going to end up when our souls were weighed?
Sorry, I'm just thinking about your question. He's not thinking about your question.
So, I can explain further to him.
Yeah.
I believe I'm correct in saying we were all sent here, chose to a certain extent, although options were limited. It wasn't necessarily much of a choice for all of us, but we essentially chose to let ourselves be sent here. Were we actually sent here, or did the hag just kill us? And this is where judgment upon us fell, that this is where we are meant to be.
He gestures for you all to hold hands in a circle with him, and he does a similar sort of thing that he did with Riley, where he closes his eyes gently, furrows his brow, and thinks really hard. And he, unfortunately, comes back and says, "My vision of why you are here and the motivations behind the person that has sent you is unclear. I am sorry.
Cyrus is going to take a moment while we're all holding hands, though, to just like say a little group prayer, like just under his breath. Like he's not like really involving everyone, but like while he's connected with everyone, he wants to just be like, ah, yes, we're all here. I am praying for everyone right now.
Nice. That's amazing. Gain inspiration.
Amir,
Nice.
what makes something righteous or virtuous?
He gives you an answer, and it's filled with soliloquy and metaphor, but it basically says, if I have to tell you, then you're not doing it right.
Well, Jens rolls his eyes and he's ready to go.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna be staying for a long rest.
I kind of like fast rolled the long rest and then just continued the RP. So you guys took the long rest, and then immediately when it was over, Jens said, thanks for the spell, and then that's where we picked up from there. But yeah, you guys did your long rest. So like I said earlier, just mark down that you have your spell slots back if you have spell slots, and mark down or remove the damages that you have taken. Also, because it might not have been clear from the NPCs, when you guys get one new type of damage, that's 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay.
Hence why 6 will kill you. But it can be removed on a short rest. So
Just the damage type, by using a healer's kit, we can't just rest and remove exhaustion.
no, because your
Yes.
bodies don't heal naturally here.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to
But,
actually do
but-
something to heal.
But the long rest can remove all types, or just one
You
type.
Yeah, because you don't have to sleep, you don't have to eat, because you're undead. So when you're taking a long rest, you basically can spend an extended period of time healing, and in 8 hours, you guys have enough time to heal 4 points off of each person. But I'm just gonna say you can heal all of it if you're at 5, because what's 1 more hour?
So just using the healer's kit enough times still.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you still have to expend those.
We should
I
have grabbed
should
so
have-
many more healers.
What did I put in that room? I put like 30, didn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah, but we thought
We
we
can
were
go
only
back
using
there.
it to like restore from being dead. Like in D&D, you use it to stabilize if you go under 0. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
how
that's
often
right.
does that happen?
I know.
Every time you,
You
get
guys-
hit.
You guys are at 0. Well, it's not every time, because like say if you get hit with the same damage type, so if you're fighting someone and they only deal bludgeoning damage, the worst you can take is 1 type from that. Whereas the imps, they only were able to deal 2 types, right? They dealt piercing and they dealt poison if you guys failed to save. But yeah.
Did my finger grow back?
No, it's just bandaged up.
Okay.
But it counts as the damage type being removed.
All right. But I still
Yeah.
have a cool bony finger.
You still have a cool bony finger, and Cyrus's gashed wound is now just a huge scar stitched up together.
Nice.
Like
So it's
stitching a
like
cadaver.
it's like closed and it's like healing closed, or is it just held together with the stitching?
It's closed. It's not healing
Okay.
closed. But yes, like Emily said, it's much like stitching up a cadaver.
Nice.
The corpse will not heal, is dead.
By the time we start healing naturally, we're just going to be held together by string,
Yeah.
string and gauze.
There may be some sort of encounter the DM has planned to make it so that you're not just a bunch of Frankensteins at the end of this.
What if we
Or
swap
Frankenstein's
body
mother,
parts?
I know, that's what I was like, if my
Mummies
hand
at the
gets
end of
cut
this.
off.
We each lose a hand and put the wrong one on.
It's the middle of combat.
Things get
You
confused all the time.
just gotta grab a hand that you can reach.
Hey, that's a bond for life. Sharing,
There you go.
trading hands.
Okay.
So as you guys are leaving, they tell you the direction to head to find the Mirage Market, and you guys are off heading that way, and I think this is a good spot to stop it. So thanks guys, this was great.